and I thought what we would do is have some fights now
Okay.
as a way to demonstrate what typically happens, and then demonstrate potentially, using the processes in your book, develop some more effective communications when these happen. So what I did is I looked at another report, which were, what are the common things, and this is very akin to your dozen, is that basically some of the most problems are the lack of commitment, right? Where are you committed? And I think it goes back to the how much TV do you watch and how much quality time that we spend, with the kind of generic response being the woman wants to spend more quality time, the guy wants more alone time. That's just a generalization, I think. Is that
Yeah.
probably true from what you've seen?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay. And that's very sexist, but I'll just say it anyways. Please don't judge me. Okay. So I'm going to pretend, all right, so I'm going to pretend I'm your wife, and I'm going to be hostile to you.
Okay. Now,
Ready?
before we do that, what we'll role model is first what it's like when typical response, when people don't have communication training,
Okay.
what it looks like to fight and blame.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
after
good.
that, what we'll do is I'll do what a better response would be.
Okay. Okay.
And I want to describe what a better response is so that people recognize it.
Okay. You
Because
mean
in
a
the
better
book,
response from the guy's perspective? Like how would it, or a better response from my part, or both perspectives?
more from you maintain being difficult throughout this whole thing.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Yay. I
Yeah.
can do that.
But when I do a better response, it's going to be very hard for you to maintain being so difficult.
Okay. Okay, good.
And what a better response is, as far as I'm concerned, is helping a person to feel understood and that you understand their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I call that empathy. I have a simple formula that I point out in the book, which goes, it sounds like blank, that must feel blank. That's like a formula for helping a person give empathy to their partner. So when we get to that section, that's what I'll be focusing on, and you'll see how effective it is.
Okay.
But right now, let's fight away. We'll
Okay.
blame and
And
do
I'm
all
going to
the
have
things.
two different versions of being nasty. I'm going to be passive aggressive nasty, and I'm going to be
Okay.
aggressively nasty. Just because
Okay.
people who believe that they're passive aggressive, it's like, I was being nice. And actually, you're being nasty, but because your mate knows you're being nasty. Okay? So I'm going to be passive aggressive nasty now. So, what are we going to do this weekend? Are we going to be watching football again, or now that the Super Bowl is over, are we done with all of that?
Yeah, I'll probably be watching. There's another game, so I'll probably be doing that.
Do we really think that football is still the best thing to be doing? I mean, we just finished the Super Bowl, so maybe we ought to consider, you know,
What should we consider? I love football. Why are you always telling me I shouldn't watch football? I don't tell you that you shouldn't go shopping.
well, my friends' husbands, they're stopping watching football right now.
You're
So
always saying somebody else is doing something else. I'm me. I like watching football, and you're not going to take it away from me. And why are you always nagging me?
I'm not nagging you. I'm just telling you what other people are doing. And it seems like the vast majority of husbands who love their wives are not watching football anymore. So I'm just wondering what
Was
we're going to
that
be
was
doing.
that like in the Ten Commandments or something that thou shalt not watch football if they love their wives? I like watching football. I work hard all week, and I don't see why I shouldn't be able to do that.
Well,
Now,
do you love me? That's why you shouldn't do it. Don't you love me?
yeah, I love you, and I love football, and I don't see that I have to decide between them.
Okay.
Uh,
I think
so,
we see
so we
where it's
know,
going.
yes.
Pretty soon I'm going to be in tears.
So that's what not to do.
Okay.
I call that blame, denial, and distraction.
Yes. Okay. Blame, denial, destruction. Yes, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I didn't feel blame, but I felt distracted, and you're like, throwing up all sorts of
Uh-huh.
roadblocks.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if I were to start, so we're going to do a couple of phrases all over again to see how you would have changed your response as a husband.
Okay.
So what do we think we're going to do this weekend?
I don't know. I'm open to your ideas. There's a football game on Sunday I'd like to watch.
Now, didn't we just watch a Super Bowl?
It sounds like you're wishing that the whole football thing was over, and you're kind of frustrated that I'm thinking of watching another game, and that doesn't feel very good to you. It sounds like.
Well, duh. I mean, we've been watching football for the whole, how many months? How much football
Mm,
is enough? Is how much football is enough? Well, I
mm.
mean,
You just feel like you're not getting the quality time that you want, and that I don't know, you're kind of upset about that.
well, isn't that obvious?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, don't we have this conversation like 1,000 times during the football season?
Hmm. And you're ready to move on, and you're frustrated that there's another game. I certainly understand that.
Well, yeah, I am.
It sounds like you really want to connect.
Well, yeah, isn't that? I mean, that's what my friends are doing.
Hmm.
But isn't that what married people do?
Hmm. So you feel like, this is really a normal thing to want, and it is, and I want to connect with you. I feel that too.
Well, me too.
So, do you think it might be possible to come up with a way that we can really connect deeply this weekend? And for 3 hours on Sunday, I can also watch a game that I want to watch?
I don't know. Like maybe what we can do is grab breakfast before the game, so at least we can talk about this week. And I want to talk to you about the kids. And I've had a really hard week,
Mhm.
and I just want to talk.
Yeah, no, I really sense that you want to connect, and I want to connect with you. So let's go out to breakfast Sunday morning and really connect and talk about that. And if you feel like we've connected, then maybe you'll feel like it's okay if I watch some of the game. But let's make sure that we have a date to really spend some time together Sunday morning. Does that
Okay.
sound good?
Yeah, it does. Okay, so what were you doing? I did feel calmer, and I was pretty
Mm-hmm.
hostile for a pretty long time. And I was
Uh-huh.
a hostile, but a different kind of hostile, I think, than I was before. And it was an authentic kind of different kind of hostile.
Mm-hmm.
But what were you doing to elicit that response from me?
I was basically validating your experience and your feelings and what you were wanting underneath that.
Mm,
You wanted to really connect. You really want to have that quality time.
right.
And so I was validating that that's a beautiful thing and that I want that as well. Now, once you feel heard in that way, once you feel understood, it's much easier to then listen to me and be willing to work out a compromise. So once you felt heard, then I said, well, maybe, if you really get this experience that you're wanting, and I'm wanting too with you, then maybe you'll feel okay with me watching the game later.
Yeah.
And you could say, yeah, well, that makes sense. If
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So it's really validation. And what's interesting though is I think because you're a couples therapist, you can actually listen to it and know you can jump pretty quickly to what I need.
mm-hmm,
How can we be smarter about knowing like to listen to what I'm saying? Like you because of your skills, you just jumped to what I need and pre-anticipated almost everything. And it was kind of unfair because I said it the first time, you heard the second time, and you knew the needs. But how
mm-hmm,
would a normal person, female or male, figure out the needs at the level that you were able to without being triggered? Because I would have been triggered
right,
all over the place.
right. Well, it does take a little bit of practice, but luckily there's really only four needs.
Okay.
So I can guess as to which one it is, and even if I'm wrong, you'll say, no, it's not really it, and then you'll tell me what is your
Yeah.
need.
Yeah. It's not that I want
So
to connect. I just want to whatever.
yeah, yeah,
I just want you off that piece, off that, TV.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So by knowing what the most common unmet needs are, I can guess, and as I said, even if I guess wrong, you'll appreciate that I'm trying to know what
Okay.
your needs are.
Okay. What are the four unmet needs?
Usually it's connection,
Mm-hmm.
respect, appreciation, or safety.
Okay. Repeat them again.
Yeah, it's
Connection.
connection,
Mm-hmm.
respect,
Respect. Appreciation
appreciation,
or safety.
or safety.
Okay.
And that, as an acronym, that can be CRAS or CRAS.
Okay, I like that. Okay, good. All right, so if I remember that acronym, even just throwing out like, okay, this person is clearly, they have a need that they're trying to express, maybe not expressing it in the most effective way, but when you're kind of guessing at what those needs are, it helps the person go, oh, you recognize I have a need. Even if you thought my need was for safety and it really was about connection, you're still trying to reach out to me and connect. So I appreciate that connection.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. All right. It means so much to me that you're listening to the show. Would love your support in any way by giving me comments below or to subscribe to the show or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.